Why is that so threatening to you?
It's not threatening to me.
It seems like it is.
Well, what's bothering to me is your dishonesty.
Monticelli is a contributing writer at Rolling Stone and The Daily Beast, where he specializes in leftist talking points and attacking college students. He's even made an appearance on CNN's New Day.
That's right.
Also, this noted Inspector Gadget impressionist who cosplays as Indiana Jones enthusiast had clearly been waiting for Change My Mind to come to UNT, the Harvard of Denton County, for quite some time, and he just couldn't hide his enthusiasm.
All right, good. Do you spell it PH or V?
The V.
Same way, very nice. Fewer letters means a cooler name. Last name?
Monticelli, I'll spell it for you.
Okay.
Monaccelli.
So, German.
Italian.
Boy, missed all of that one.
Missed it by that much.
Just a little bit, but both of those countries have a certain history for a certain type of politics, but we're not here to talk about that today.
Yeah, no, I know. I don't know how I got that one wrong. It's almost like I wasn't even trying.
Oh look, the sense of humor mobile. It's not stopping here.
So, Stephen, I don't know how familiar you are at all with what we do with this kind of installment is, but it's basically a way where we can hopefully rationalize our positions on controversial topics. A lot of the times, people can have somewhat rational conversations on topics that maybe don't evoke an emotional response, and then it all goes out the window, as you've seen here on college campuses with dancing Yoda and people throwing milkshakes and screaming and all these kinds of things, which we generally like to avoid.
Now, spoiler alert, this is about to go sideways very quickly.
So today's topic is one obviously we planned for a while, but now it's in the news because of Leah Thomas. I don't believe that biological males should be allowed to compete with women, biological females in women's sports. If you disagree with me, I'm more than happy to hear your case and let you change my mind.
So I guess before we get into it, what is your definition of the term biological female? Is that something that would include people who are assigned female at birth that were born intersex?
So this is interesting that you're bringing up this point intersex. You're talking about the 0.01% of the population.
It's about 1.5, 1.7, because there are surgeries that are done to babies, when they're born, and then they assign them a gender.
So let me address two different points here.
Sure.
First off, what I'm saying with biological males and females is the overwhelming majority of people, of course, across the globe since the beginning of time, who are born as a male, born as a female. You can go not only by chromosomes, but secondary sex characteristics.
So, like, if there's are there 100 people here?
Hold on, let me finish. And then I'll address your second point.
Okay.
Is that fair?
Sure.
Okay. So, doctors, for example, fill out male or female. Now we're talking about sex, right? We're not talking about identified gender. I'm assuming that you would agree that sex is a biological term and gender is
there's
a social
difference between.
I understand that's how gender theory is presented, certainly in gender studies on college campus.
Sure.
With intersex, it's about 0.01% of the population, and the vast majority of them,
once again, it's
the vast majority of them don't require any kind of a sex change.
That's actually not an accurate statistic.
It is an accurate statistic.
I can pull up
and
the
I'll make
Google
all the
statistic
references available.
Right now, it's 1.5%.
1.5% of the population is not intersex.
Well, they're born that way.
Even then, a very small percentage of them are improperly assigned with a primary sex at birth. They usually have primary sexual characteristics, okay? So primary sexual characteristics, and very few have to end up going with some kind of a sex change operation later in life.
Because it's often done when they're children or when they're babies.
Right, or they're assigned male, female at birth, even if they're intersex.
So yeah, I guess that's what I'm trying to get at. Are you talking about people who are assigned?
If we separate that, intersex, okay? So let's say we allow intersex to no, I'm saying let's say we allow intersex to compete in the division they choose.
How do you prove that they're in? How do you even get to that question of are you or are you not? Are you asking then that there has to be a box that people have to tick that they were intersex?
I'm confused by you presenting the argument here because you asked me about intersex.
Yeah. So what I'm trying to say is there are edge cases here that I don't think that your presentation actually encompasses. And
I just encompassed it.
So if people are allowed, so that someone who is born with both female and male sex characteristics.
There you go. Now you've got it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then there are surgeries that are done to them.
You just check the box.
But someone would have to ask them that.
Yes.
So are you proposing that people are asked that?
What I'm saying is if someone is intersex, let's allow that to be an exception.
So how
let's
do
say
we
that someone
know
who's
that
intersex can compete
case?
in any division they want to.
How do we know
they would have to declare if they're intersex.
So you're
and it would be submitted. They would obviously be examined by a doctor, just as the women are in women's sports and men are in men's sports. Just as they have to submit to not only blood sampling for drug tests, hair follicle sampling, often nail scrapings, right? We both know that physicals are conducted in all sports to separate for what? Sex, right? To separate for weight, to separate for...
When I was playing sports when I was a kid, no one ever inspected my genitals.
Really?
No.
You never had to turn your head and cough?
Well, that wasn't for doing sports. That's called a physical. That's a medical thing that was separate from being able to do sports.
Yeah, so you never had to do a full medical?
I mean,
So you must not have played sports at a high level. Because
weren't really
everyone
concerned
has to
about-
pass a medical.
So-
You do realize that at Division I sports, you would have to pass a medical. You know
so
why?
so the medical would be a description of your genitals. Would that?
It would include it?
It would include a written description and a verbal description.
Yes.
Really?
This medical examination, would include the description of your vitals,
Okay.
of your health,
Okay.
of your health parameters.
So I guess now that we've gone through that, what is?
But we haven't gone through that.
What is the reason that you're?
We haven't gone through that. You haven't
So
answered
if you're
me.
concerned, if you're less concerned about intersex people, then why are you so concerned about transgender people?
Again, I was answering your question. You asked about
Well,
intersex.
they both get surgeries. Sometimes they both need hormone treatment. What's your position against? If you're okay with one, why are you not okay with the other?
Here's exactly why. First off, you're taking an extreme example to make a point, misrepresenting those statistics. It's not 1.5% of the population.
All right,
You
I'll
won't
just
find a
Google
physician
it.
in the country.
It's fine.
You won't find a single physician in the country.
According to experts, 1.7% of the population is born with intersex traits.
Pause a second. Let's analyze his Googling technique.
I'll just
find a
Google
physician
it.
in the country.
It's fine.
You won't find a single physician in the country.
According to experts,
Huh, a two-click Google search. It's almost as if he had the whole thing planned out. Poorly.
1.7% of the population is born with intersex traits. It's
That's
just,
from amnesty.org.
I mean, I can just like keep. I can go to.
From amnesty.org.
I mean, it's from there's Wikipedia. There's plenty
Yes,
of.
Amnesty and Wikipedia. Okay.
There's
I'll make
here's
my
a
references
PubMed,
available.
NCBI, and like this is a medical journal. So I mean, like,
Hold
look,
on a second. Let me
I'm
actually.
not gonna
Hold on a
let
second.
touch
You know
my
what?
phone.
Okay, you know what? Just
I
hold
would
it up for me.
encourage
Hold it up for me.
anyone that
Hold it up for me.
wants to do
Because you
this.
just brought up PubMed and it didn't
Yeah.
reflect what you just reflected in
So
Amnesty.
abstract.
0.0018%, almost 100 times lower than Fausto Sterling estimate of 1.7.
So it is because they are.
Like, can you
talking
hold
about
that up to the camera?
chromosomal Sex.
Can you hold that up to the camera?
Inconsistent.
Can you hold that up to the camera?
Sex. Yeah. So let's see. There's.
Can you hold it up to the camera?
There's a debate about this, which is what we're having.
Pause. Now, if you notice the shift, and I mean increase in my enthusiasm, it's because I was intensely familiar with the PubMed paper he was attempting to cite. And by cite, I mean blatantly misrepresent. And by blatantly misrepresent, I mean lie about. And this is the real value of Change My Mind in the conversations being included in their full context unedited. It's one thing to be able to lie about numbers to unsuspecting students in order to score political points. It's another to face accountability in real time.
Watch Louder with Crowder live, Monday through Thursday, 10 a.m. Eastern.